Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and talk about things that are going on to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Here we go.
This critical incident video details an officer-involved shooting that occurred on October 2nd, 2022 at approximately 10:17 a.m. Warning, the following video contains graphic images and language. It is not suitable for all viewers. Just after 10 a.m., Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department officers were dispatched to the 500 block of South Holt Road on a report of a domestic disturbance with a weapon. The 911 caller said a man was holding his girlfriend against her will in a residence. According to the 911 caller, the man said if police responded, he would shoot both the man's girlfriend and responding police officers. The 911 caller said the dispute between the man and his girlfriend was over a missing cell phone. Two IMPD Southwest District officers responded to the home and met with the 911 caller. The officers learned the man, 40-year-old Thomas Talley, was holding his girlfriend hostage in a bedroom. Officers became aware of additional information, including that IMPD had been to the home on multiple domestic disturbance calls. In addition, there was information that Mr. Talley assaulted another woman prior to the arrival of officers. An officer advised other units on scene, including SWAT, over the radio that he was familiar with Mr. Talley and he was known to be erratic, aggressive, and in possession of firearms. Officers were informed by a witness that a firearm magazine was observed in the room where Mr. Talley and the victim were located. Officers heard the victim say, "Put the gun down," multiple times through the door. Officers overheard Mr. Talley say that he wasn't pointing the gun through the door. All this information was disseminated to officers on the scene, including SWAT, over the radio. The officers entered the home and spoke with Mr. Talley through a barricaded door.
Okay, so I guess at this point they were talking to the person outside the home and then they decided to go in. I'm assuming they decided to cut out the footage of talking to the witness just to be able to keep their face and everything out of it, give them privacy. But now they're entering into the household, and one of my biggest complaints when it comes to these kind of videos is officers neglecting to get a rifle out when it has been known or been made known that weapons are involved. So they've been told that this woman's being held hostage with a weapon, gun magazine's been observed, etc. That dictates that a rifle needs to come out for this call. This is now a high-risk call. There is a higher chance of deadly physical force or a deadly physical encounter occurring, and because of that, a rifle is the best tool for this type of scenario. A rifle is more accurate and it has better incapacitating power. Pistols are not that accurate because they have very short barrels and you only get 2 points of contact on the gun. Just the littlest amount of movement within that system can throw shot placement off. Just merely pulling the trigger, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, can push the gun a little to the left or to the right and throw shot placement off. Up close and personal, that amount of offset is not going to be that noticeable or matter that much, but as you start to add increments of distance, it becomes noticeable, and even within a very short distance, say even 20 feet, you can completely miss the target because the shot placement is going to be so off. A rifle has a longer barrel and there is more points of contact on that rifle to further stabilize it and minimize movement within the system, thus making it more accurate. The terminal ballistics for a rifle are night and day compared to pistol. All pistol calibers suck ass. I don't care what kind of argument you try to bring up, all pistols suck. The only reason why pistols are carried is because law enforcement overall is a low to unknown risk type of day in, day out job. Yes, there are some high risk moments, but not every day is high risk. Of course, everything is, up until the conclusion of the call, an unknown risk, and then at the conclusion of it ends up being, you could categorize it as, well, this was a low risk call. But day in, day out, the majority of police work is just fucking talking to people and doing paperwork and driving around. That's it. Officers are not getting into gunfights every single day. Majority of officers in this country, over 90% of them, get to go their entire career and never have to shoot anyone. So, because of that, there's no need to carry rifles around all the damn time. So pistols feel that need when something rapidly and suddenly happens. And it can be used for defensive purposes, like an unknown risk traffic stop. No indicators showing that, anything's going to be going on, but never know, and then do the thing, and violence pops off, and you need a gun, boom, you got the pistol right there on the side. Now, whereas you do a felony traffic stop, that's a high-risk stop, that's when rifles come out. So, that's the only reason why pistols are carried. But with that being said, pistol calibers do suck. It doesn't matter which caliber you have, they all suck. When you're going to a gunfight, bring a rifle and bring your friends with rifles. It's going to dominate that fight, and it's going to stop that fight faster. It's going to save lives faster. Unfortunately, these two officers go in with pistols only. Fucking the wood paneling.
They're here walking around, Amanda. You can hear them. I have not put any gun in you.
You ready?
Hey! Police department! Hey, do not come in here!
I'm gonna tell you what, get out! Come out! Radio,
I'll back that up real quick.
Gun in here. I have not put any gun in you.
You ready?
Hey! Police department! Hey, do not come in here!
I'm gonna tell you what, get out!
So he made that attempt to make entry into that room. He wasn't going to sit there and wait any longer. That's good. Don't want to give the person that time to formulate a plan. Sounded like he said that he could hear them outside the room and everything. So, they went in, quietly, trying to do a more of a stealth approach, but sounded like he could still hear them out there. I'd imagine you probably couldn't pick it up on camera, but I would imagine that it looking like an older design house, probably from like 60s or 70s. As they're walking through the house, there's probably, creaking of the floorboards going on. So he could probably hear that and knew that they were out there. Or just the sound of them as they're shifting the duty belts and everything. So their presence was given away, and I think this officer was thinking from the mindset, well, the gig is up. He knows we're here. Might as well, move in before he can make a plan on something else. Unfortunately, it seems like once he breached that door, there was something on the other side of that door keeping it from coming all the way open. Could he have pressed the issue and tried to continue to move in? Yes. However, that would mean that now the bad guy could potentially be having the gun pointed at the door, and as he goes in to make a second push on that door, well, he's right there in that fatal funnel, and rounds could be coming in at him. So I can't fault him for backing away from the door after that first attempt failed. Otherwise, he probably would have, or potentially could have been met with a wall of bullets coming at him.
Come out! Radio silence.
So, phone traffic.
Get more fucking cars.
Okay, we'll get more cars.
Rush.
Come out!
4 cars, 4524 South Hope Road. Rush.
Tommy, come the fuck out! This is not going to end good, man. Come out. Let her out, and then we'll deal with you. Let her out. Let her out. Go ahead and start SWAT. You got a barricaded subject.
Okay, you go ahead and start SWAT. We got to look at the stages. Possibly has a weapon inside.
Okay. Well, I'll let you step up.
Put out a heads up. I'll be right.
Okay.
Yeah, control, when we get in contact with you, you have to set that up.
Shut those fucking front windows. Tommy, this isn't worth it. It's not. Then it's even easier. If you haven't fucking done any, Tommy, I don't even know you. I don't even know you. Tommy, I don't even know you. Tommy. Come on out or let her out. Then come out, Tommy. This isn't worth it. Then come out. You're not going to go to jail for the rest of your life. You're not going for the rest of your life, Tommy.
The Special
Maybe a
Weapons
little
and
bit.
Tactics team responded along with a crisis negotiator. The negotiator spoke with Mr. Talley through the door and asked him several times to let his girlfriend safely exit the room. Mr. Talley refused to comply and made numerous suicidal statements.
I'm going to make sure you get out of there. You and the lady both get out without being hurt. I can guarantee you will not get hurt. If you just... Tommy.
I already got it. I got it, bro. There ain't no negotiating.
Tommy.
Ain't no negotiating, dog.
If you just let the lady come out to us, you and I will continue talking. You don't have to come out right now. You let her come out to us so that she's safe. I believe you don't want to see her get hurt.
No, but she's gonna like you.
I believe you do not want to see her get hurt. Tommy, it's going to look a whole lot better for you, and you know that. If she comes out safely right now.
So what is the matter?
Tommy, I can promise you, you are not going to get hurt.
Yes, I will. I want to. I'm not going to prison for the rest of my life.
Do you want the lady to get hurt? That's a yes or no question. Do you want the lady to get hurt? You let her come out to us right now so that she's safe. Tommy, has done nothing wrong. She doesn't deserve to get hurt. You're right, and you are not. You are not going to get hurt. Tommy, you know we can't do that. Tommy, we do not want to see you or to get hurt. Tommy, I can promise you you're not going to get hurt. If a comes out, she'll be safe. She won't be hurt. Tommy, I'm going to ask you to talk a little louder for me, please. Tommy, I can promise you, you're not going to get hurt. Is not going to get hurt. It didn't ask to be put in this.
I'm the one that beat up that damn.
Tommy, let her come out of the room. You stay put. You and I'll keep talking. Tommy, none of us out here want to see you get hurt. Tommy, why are you dying?
Because I had copied of my lease in my bag.
Tommy, I know you didn't ask to be put in this either. I can hear it in your voice. This stinks. This whole thing stinks. Tommy.
The negotiations lasted approximately 50 minutes. While the negotiator and SWAT team members were outside the bedroom door, they heard a shot fired from inside the bedroom. SWAT team members made entry into the bedroom. Mr. Talley was armed with a semi-automatic handgun with an extended magazine. 4 SWAT team members discharged their department-issued weapons, striking Mr. Talley. The hostage was rescued and taken to a safe location.
I like how they put a little timer right there.
Still moving! Drop that fucking gun! Drop it! Drop that fucking gun! Alright, get her out! Move out! Move out!
The SWAT team members were equipped with body-worn...
God damn. Lit him up like a fucking Christmas tree. Alright, so they wasted no time going in after this guy. They heard that shot. Boom, it's action time. He could have been shooting her. They have no idea. They have to assume that he was shooting her. So they're moving in to act on her behalf to protect her. They encounter problems with the door. It doesn't immediately go open, so he had to obviously had something on the other side there preventing that door from fully opening. I wish they would have shown like an aftermath photo of what was in the room, what was blocking the door or whatever. Making entry into stuff like that can be difficult when there's stuff on the other side of the door preventing it from opening fully. Generally, interior doors are pretty weak. They're not set up and made like an exterior door because you don't have the need to have. Well, the manufacturers don't see people having a need for an interior door to be as beefy as an exterior door or even the door frame. So interior doors can be super easy to kick open. In fact, many interior doors are very flimsy, and you can kick a door and put your whole fucking foot through the damn thing. There's some doors you can punch and just punch straight through it. There's just very cheaply made doors. But even as cheap as they are and easily breakable, as far as them swinging open and everything, if there's something on the other side preventing it from swinging all the way open, then that's it. It's going to prevent it from opening all the way. Nothing you can do there, even though it is a cheap-ass door. There's other, I guess, ways that, they could have gone in through that door. Explosive breaching could have been an option. On interior doors, that's a little overkill, but since they did, or the patrol officer did initially try to make an entry, and it's barricaded, it's plausible that an explosive breach could have been put on the door to essentially blow it in half, and then they could just run right through the opening there, and the door would just kind of fall out and apart. I don't know what the rest of that room looks like as far as like windows on the exterior or anything like that. I'm sure if there was an exterior window, they could have had people posted there. Potentially, if they had a plan to go in without this sudden gunshot going off, I'm sure they would have potentially had a plan to insert noise flash diversionary devices in through a window or something like that. That way his attention would be drawn to the window and then they would be coming in through the door. As they make entry into this room, it's apparent that they are holed up in the closet. So I guess he thought that the closet was probably the safest place to be. I can't tell for sure if there was exterior windows, but that could be why he went into the closet, because he could have had a fear that they could have gotten him through the windows or something like that. And a closet isn't going to have any fucking windows. You got one fucking entry going into there, and it's an Alamo kind of setup there. it almost looked like when he kicked it, the top half of the door fucking broke and swung open. Or it could just be that middle section broke further away out. It's hard to tell, but the camera footage is not the greatest.
Now, he's still moving. Drop that fucking gun. Drop it. Drop that fucking gun. All right, get her.
All right, so I'll pause it right here. Obviously, SWAT team going in, they're going to be utilizing rifles. So they know going to a gunfight, bring a rifle, right? Unfortunately, it just seems like, SWAT most of the time is obviously the only ones who are always going to be going at things with rifles. Of course, they get more trigger time on training. They get to go through extra training that normal patrol officers don't get to go through. I don't think that's the greatest and brightest thing to do. I myself kind of think that overall SWAT teams are, I don't want to say a total waste of time and money. They're kind of a halfway waste of time and money, because when you think about how most agencies have to set up their SWAT teams, they don't get to have a 24/7 team that's set up like a fire department where you just got a crew of dudes who are SWAT and they just chill, and then they get the call, they all go at once. You got a whole fucking platoon to be able to show up. There's only like a handful of places out there who can operate like that. Los Angeles, New York, those are the two that I'm aware of that have a team like that. The other places, it's gonna have to be a large city in order to do that. Everyone else, the way their SWAT teams are set up is, let's say you got an agency that has 100 officers. Out of those 100 officers, you may have 20 who are SWAT team certified, and they are spread out across all the shifts. So you may have 6 of them on night shift. You may have 7 on day shift and a few on evening shift, whatever. And when a call comes out, of course, those on shift will be the ones going and getting there, but they're going to be in their patrol uniform, right? They might be able to carry their rifle in the car. They might be able to carry their SWAT vest and their kit inside their car, but they're going to be showing up wearing just their regular fucking patrol uniform. They're not going to be able to switch out into the ninja suit or anything like that. They're going to have to rock with what they got on. The other people, they're going to be off duty, and so dispatch is going to have to call them and give them notification to come in, and that's going to take time, right? It takes time wherever they're at. They could be at the grocery store with the family. They could be out in the pool. One could be in the shower. I mean, everyday life, right? Like, what are they doing? So getting them all notified and then rounded up and come to that central location, wherever that needs to be, that takes time. It's almost like a volunteer fire department, right? If you got volunteer fire guys living their life, doing whatever, they may be at their own job, they may be, out with the family, they might be out shopping, whatever, and they get that call, and then they got to either go to the station and get the fire truck or just go straight to the scene. So that's how a lot of SWAT teams across the nation are set up. When you look at time of being of the essence, that's not a great setup. That takes too long for them to get together, come together, make a plan, get all suited up, all that shit, and then execute the plan. Personally, I think a lot of the stuff that SWAT gets to do in terms of rifle training and small unit tactics and stuff needs to be taught to patrol officers, because they're going to be the first ones in, first ones on scene. And I think it would be a lot better to have regular patrol guys spun up to that level that introductory level, I guess you could say, that SWAT first starts out with. That way they'd be more effective. And if that were to happen, I kind of think that we would see more videos where patrol officers are getting their rifles out versus just going at it with their pistols. But anyway, they're rocking their rifles like they should be, and you'll notice that they all have silencers on their rifles. Silencers they're becoming more popular in use, and it is something that I believe is a requirement on a fighting rifle. So there's some requirement things for fighting rifle that I think should be on all rifles. Number one, a sling. Every rifle should have a sling on it. A sling on a rifle is like a holster for a pistol. That's what the sling is. It's the rifle's holster, right? Second to that is a weapon-mounted light. You have to be able to shoot at night, right? Third to that would be, in addition to the iron sights that already come on the rifle, in addition to those, I think a red dot holographic sight is needed. I don't think scopes or anything like that should be a requirement. That's more of a specialty niche kind of thing. As far as a general fighting rifle, it just needs to be something like an Aimpoint or EOTech. And then the fourth thing that I think that should be a requirement is a silencer. Now, silencer is the word that is the lawful word for them. That's what was on the patent when the damn thing was invented. That's what ATF has on all their paperwork. But does it really silence them? No. They do not become silent. Hollywood has done a huge disservice to portraying, how silencers work. They would lead you to believe that they're quiet as a mouse, and you can fire a silenced gun within a train station, and no one would ever hear it. That's not the case. People are going to hear the damn things. Most people refer to them as a suppressor, and that's realistically what they do, is they suppress the sound. They're like a muffler. So imagine if you had a diesel truck that did not have a muffler on it, right? It was just an engine that was just running. Imagine just how fucking loud that would be, right? Now you add the muffler to it, the exhaust system. You still hear that diesel engine running. Like, it's running, but it's not super ass loud to where you're having to hold your ears. So the silencers help preserve your hearing in both the short term and the long term. Obviously, if you have repeated exposures to loud noises that are damaging to your ear, you will have long-term hearing damage. You'll have a loss of hearing. You'll be unable to hear things very well, and you may have random ass tinnitus that kicks in every once in a while, just ringing of the ears. That sucks. In the short term, during the fight, it helps preserve your hearing so that you're not experiencing ringing of the ears, and that can limit your ability to effectively hear things, hear other people talking, hear the radio traffic, etc. So the silencer muffles all that noise, prevents you from having the ringing of the ears, allows you to hear a whole lot better, and as the rifles are firing, as the suppressed weapons are shooting, you can still talk while those things are being shot and people still be able to understand you. So that is important because traditionally the entities that can shoot, move, and communicate the best are the ones who win. So if you can communicate while guns are firing, that's awesome. You take unsuppressed weapons and you start firing a bunch of them at once, you're not having much of a conversation at all. It's like everyone's going to have to stop fucking shooting in order for anyone to hear what the hell anyone is saying. Suppressors, I'm not saying you can have like a general conversation with suppressors, but you can communicate and say things while the guns are shooting and still be able to hear what's being said, and it just makes you better at communicating with each other. Agencies, of course, can get silencers, no problem. Well, I say no problem. They still got to, go through an ATF process. It's just basically filling out some basic paperwork with whatever vendor they buy the things from. But that's it. That's all they got to do. They just got to fill out some paperwork, and then boom, they get to immediately take possession of the damn things. Citizens, even people who are police officers, if they're just buying it for themselves and their own personal collection, they still have to go through the same process as everyone else. It's a long, long, long process. At least the wait is. As far as what you do can be done all in one day. You can go to a gun store that sells silencers, pay for it, pay for it in full, do your fingerprints on the kiosk, take your passport quality photo, all that, and complete all that stuff in one day, and then you're having to wait on the ATF. And the ATF, they take about a year to approve the NFA items. That's bullshit. There's some people who've been waiting 2 years to be able to take possession of their silencer that they paid for. Some people, they get lucky and they can get it within like 90 days. I don't know whose dick they're sucking to be able to get that. If you're one of those people and you want some extra money, I'll give you some extra money. You can go suck some more people's dick so I can get my damn silencer out of NFA jail. But everyone has to, pretty much damn near everyone has to wait like a year or more to take possession of their items. Even if you've already bought like 2 or 3 of them, right? Let's say you've already bought 2 or 3 silencers and you want to buy your 4th or 5th one. You still have to wait that long ass time to take possession of it, even though you've already been approved for 3 or 4 other damn silencers. So it's a bullshit process, but regular citizens can still own them, and I highly recommend and suggest that you get one.
Out. Still moving. Drop that fucking gun. Drop it. Drop that fucking gun. All right, get her out. Move out. Move out.
The SWAT team members were equipped with body-worn cameras, and they were activated. None of those cameras provided a clear view of Mr. Talley in the bedroom due to the location where he was hiding. A SWAT team medic, who was staged on scene, entered the home and medically evaluated Mr. Talley. Unfortunately, he was pronounced deceased at the scene.
No shit, really? I mean, I don't know how many rifle rounds were fired, but there was enough rifle rounds fired that it's a no-brainer that dude was not going to survive that shit.
A semi-automatic handgun with an extended magazine was...
So, cheap-ass pistol and 2 knives. What was that? Fucking crack pipe right there? Which I don't know anything about this guy, but like he's in this closet with his gun. He's got these 2 knives. There's just something about people who just keep knives like this around that it's just it's like a unique thing that you can kind of like. They all look similar to each other, right? I don't know. It's like some type of psychological disorder in a way that these people keep these knives and like they're going to be using them for actual real defensive purposes. Like it's kind of laughable, really. But whatever the hell this thing is, an El Cheapo. This thing is a bayonet that goes on to a rifle. The knife itself, when it comes out, has a little hole in the blade, and you can take that hole and match it up to this little thing on the end, and you can actually use the end of this knife scabbard as like a pair of scissors of sorts, be able to cut through barbed wire and stuff. Highly doubt that he has the rifle for this bayonet to go onto, or otherwise he would have been armed with that rifle. So being in possession of like this old ass bayonet like that just kind of gives me some insight to this guy's mindset and, you know, what kind of person he probably was. Like, not even people in the military like to keep and hang on to these things. Actually, I think it was a couple years ago, or maybe it was the last year, the Army announced that they weren't going to do bayonet training anymore. Like, when's the last time anybody was fucking bayoneted on a battlefield? So it's kind of an archaic thing, and so even the service members, like I said, who train on the damn things and all that, like, they don't keep those damn things for home defense purposes or, you know, any other thing. It's a useless thing, really. The only usefulness thing out of it was being able to take it out and turn it into a pair of shears and cutting through barbed wire stuff. But other than that, it's just kind of a junky thing. And people who pick these little junky things plus junky pistols, they're just, you know, unique people. Whiskey tangos, I guess you could say.
Recovered next to Mr. Talley. The hostage was unharmed. No officers were injured. Resources from IMPD's Victim Assistance Unit, Chaplain's Office, and community-based domestic violence partners have been made available to the victims involved in this critical incident. Wellness services, resources have also been made available to all law enforcement personnel involved in this incident. This incident is being...
All right, so that is the conclusion of this video. Not much else to say. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.